Alright, this is Bor. Robert backwards. This is FILOTV. Alright, Bor is literally Rob backwards. My dad name is Robert. I am Robert backwards. You feel me? I'm Trebor. But people call me Bor, so I'm like, yo, it's Bor. I'm on the gram, Robert backwards, you feel me? FILOTV. Yeah, man, so Ammo Stilo is like everything, like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, but to get to your question, like, I feel like where I'm at right now in my career is like coming out as like an artist and a creator of my own, and like kind of carving out my own lane within that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like prior to this, it was like I was working with the Stilo, I was contributing creatively, but I feel like a large part of what I was doing was more so like moving and shaking, like building these relationships with like companies, labels, people, artists, you feel what I'm saying, creating all this opportunity and shit, and like playing a large role in like the brand just being spread across the world for real. But that was more like the business era, and it's like more like the creative era. Like the business is always in me. It's like same thing like with my partner Rue. Like, come on, like Rue is on it. Like, he's a sharp businessman as well and shit. So that's always gonna be a part of this shit. But I'm definitely like taking a journey into just art, like, you know what I'm saying? And I got like really show and prove type shit too, cause like I don't really got shit out, so I did a few things, like, you feel me, but gotta really show and prove like what my vision is.
How'd you get into Stilo?
My man Rue, Jared, JV, like, he got a lot of names and shit, but I remember he hit me and he was like, yo, like, I'm thinking about starting this brand and shit, and we was like, yeah, we see a lot of people starting brands, but like we feel like we could just make something hotter and shit, you feel me? So it was like, alright, bet. I was fucking with it. I remember I had like an internship at like TD Bank or something. I had some bread saved up and shit. So I'm like, bet, like, I'm pressing go. Like, the bread I had, we put into some like shirts and shit that he made, and like that kind of just started everything from there. We just start figuring it out, like, alright, that was cool. Like, we sold some shirts, but like we wanted more. Like, it's like, what's next, like, type shit. And then we both just started like kind of figuring out like where we like fit in or where we work best, and we just was going. Like, I feel like we both wanted that shit so bad.
So what was you doing before that? Like, what were you planning on doing before that? Like
before that, Stilo?
Because you said you was working at TD Bank.
Yeah, that was just some shit to get some bread, and it was different. Like, I wasn't trying to like work at McDonald's or something, so I was trying to like just find a different lane or just have some different experiences and some shit. Like, you feel me, as a youngin', like, it wasn't no real intent behind it. It was just like kind of like a complex too. It's like, you know, you'd be like, yo, where you work? It's like, yo, I'm over here. Like, everybody else like during that time was like not really doing shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, like, it was one of those type moves for me as well. Like, prior to that, I guess to really answer your question, I was throwing parties, bro. And that's when I first met Rue. Cause like Rue used to make the flyers for me and shit. And then I would be like promoting the parties and like, you feel me, getting everybody to come out, bro. Like, I threw some crazy parties, bro. I went viral like on MySpace, bro. No bullshit, bro. Like, no cap. Like, I had this video, bro. Like, we was going to the mall on the bus, and it was some bull. We was coming back. It was night. We was coming from the mall on the bus, and it was some bull on the bus. He was like a little slow, so it's kind of sad. But like at the same time, we was really all having fun. Like, we ain't like do nothing drawing, but we was telling him like, yo, bro, we having a party, right? So the boy like March 14th at the motor in and shit. And that shit, like, we all like, oh, like on the bus type shit. And then that video really went all around on MySpace and shit. So like when I had the party, bro, the shit was packed out within the first hour. Like, the shit got shut down, bro. That shit was crazy. And I told my pop, he got the smaller room. I'm like on some real shit, I think we should get the bigger room. Like, but he didn't know how I was carrying it. That's when the internet really was at a bridge, like, with the older generation. Cause like I'm like, damn, he really don't know what's going on MySpace. Like, I'm lit on this joint. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So he just like, all right, like, I don't know, like, you gonna bring on the people up, bro? Pack that shit out in 1 hour, bro. Cause that video was everywhere, bro. Like, that whole day we like vlogged and shit. This like vlogging back then, bro. We went to the mall. We walking up to like random chicks like our age, like, yo, we having a party, like, we got this shit like on cam, like, type shit, bro. That shit was lit. That was a good joint. But that's where it all started. I feel like, for real, for like getting fly, having parties. Like, you was talking about that the Shake That song, bro. Like, that vibe, like the party music and shit. That's what we was on, bro. Like, things was like SpongeBob and fucking like D-Mac and all that shit. Like we wasn't really heavy like D-Mac niggas, but I remember like my man, he was a SpongeBob boy, and then that was like the wave. And then we like had our little like two-steppers, like a gang and shit, like we used to be on that vibe. And then like it was a lot of different shit. People was D-Mac and Wu-Tang and all that, but we wasn't really like, I wasn't a Tang boy, like for real. That wasn't my vibe.
So you was lit in high school?
I hate to even talk about that shit, cause that shit's so old. You feel me? Like, I was lit in high school, but like that shit was fun. That was an era, bro. Like shit was crazy, bro. We used to be dumb deep. Like all these people go to parties, like get girls and shit. It was cool. Like we was like all these different squads from different parts of the city. Like these niggas in Germantown, they having a party. They call it like something else. You feel what I'm saying? Like we from West. Like we was like OHS. It was like West and Southwest. It was R&R before that. That was mainly like West Overbrook Park niggas and shit like that. Like. It was just people from everywhere that was like kind of represent where they was from, with just different names and shit. It was, I don't know, bro. It was like on some like warrior shit. You know what I'm saying? Like on some like black version. No bullshit.
You played sports too or no?
Yeah, I played sports. I wasn't like super D1 boy or nothing like that. Like I had game, but I wasn't really like showing up in the game. You know, a nigga that'd be like hooping in the gym and like I can hoop. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like I really can hoop. You feel what I'm saying? But I ain't really one of them boys at the same time, cause there's levels to this shit, you feel what I'm saying? But like, I can check a lot of niggas though. Like it's not like too many niggas about to be frying me. Like you feel what I'm saying? You gonna have to be like, all right, I was like like in college, like you mean, like you feel me? Like I got some game, like you feel me? So yeah, sports, that was it for me though. I played ball though. I played soccer on some random shit. Like they were just like, yeah, you athletic, you wanna play soccer and shit? I'm just like, fuck it, I just did that shit. I was always open to like just experiences and shit, you feel me? Just trying shit like my whole life, and I always believed in myself type shit, you feel me? I'm like, I can do that shit, you feel me? And just press the go, bro.
Was Stilo your like first like creative pursuit, or was you doing shit before that? I guess the parties kind of is like a creative like.
Yeah, that's just where it started, like trying to use what I had in front of me, you feel what I'm saying? Like that's what made the most sense during that time and shit. Like I was even doing events post that, like with Ammo Stilo and shit like that. So it turned into something like at some point. But yeah, I think that was like my first creative thing. And then like Stilo was like the first real thing. Like this is a business. Like you know what I'm saying? It's a company like Ammo Stilo. Like you feel me? We did it real legit. So yeah, that was like the first like actual real endeavor. Like bro, it's been a minute. We probably started like 2014. Type shit, yeah, like around that time, bro. So that's when it started. Then you said like, what's going on? I feel like right now we getting like back into mode. Like you know, if you want something, you gotta do something. So it's like, all right, I feel like we took kind of like a break, from like applying pressure per se. You feel what I'm saying? And now we trying to just like gain some more momentum back. So we just did a couple drops, bro. We got like a lot more shit in the pipeline. So I'm interested to just, you know what I mean, show our creativity for.
What's some of like the tough things you've had to deal with in it, and like what's it like working in a group?
Some of the tough things to deal with, just like the ups and downs. Not even the ups and downs, but like the unforeseen. Like so, just dealing with like shit as it comes, and like damn, like you know how you always got a plan. Like yeah, this is my plan. Like you feel what I'm saying? But like rarely does it really go exactly as planned, and it might even go exactly as planned, but it's still like hurdles and different shit. So like I don't know, I feel like that's just something any entrepreneur may deal with, like just in pursuing this shit, because it's like it's a knowledge hurdle, it's like shit that's out of your hand type hurdles, you know what I'm saying, like different mishaps of some sort. So that's that. And then as far as working in a group, my group is like pretty tight knit, so I don't know, I feel like it worked very well, but I guess the hardest part was like really working from a distance. I feel like that like really changed the dynamic, you feel what I'm saying, of the relationship, and like I don't know, the flow of just like energy per se, you know what I'm saying, towards a common goal.